month I sit down and share with you my favorite things from the past month, and we are now in August. How? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm supposed to have a baby next month. I don't know how that happened. If you're new here, my name is Kallie Branciforte, also known as That Practical Mom, and I do share a lot of content about Amazon products or just affordable products, and so I test a lot more products and gadgets than the average person because it's kind of just part of my job. I'll test out like mom products and home decor stuff and like weird viral hacks just to see if they work. And so I always find it really helpful at the end of the month to sort of round up the stuff that I tried and really did love this month. First up is the Bissell CrossWave. This is a new wet dry mop that I bought. I've probably had it for a little over a month now, and I bought it mostly just exclusively to try it. I really wanted to test it out and share with you guys if I like it. As a mom product, I think a wet dry mop is a must-have product for moms. If you don't know, this is something that's going to vacuum and mop all at once. I have a few stipulations for me personally when I'm buying a wet dry mop. Wet dry vac. One, it's got to be cordless. If I have to unwrap the cord and plug it in and then wrap the cord back up, I'm not going to be doing that. And then I need something that is going to do wet and dry. I don't want just a wet mop and I don't want just a dry mop. The thing I really loved about this Bissell CrossWave that made me want to try it is actually is a button that allows you to turn the wet off. So if you ever just want to do a dry vac of your space, you can, which I thought was really nice because some of the other ones I've tried in the past, I kind of wish that I had this option. So I've been loving my Bissell CrossWave. I find that it does a pretty decent job of mopping. I wouldn't say that it is the most heavy duty, intense. Like if you got something that you spilled like a week ago, you might still have to get down and scrub it. But if you're somebody who's using this consistently a couple of times a week, I found that it gets up most of the splatters and stuff that's on our ground. I will tell you that I have found the key to every wet dry vac that I have purchased, not just this one. The key is maintenance with these. Make sure you're emptying that tank after every single use. Don't let the stuff sit in there. And you're reading the manual for how basic maintenance should be done and basic cleanings. Next up is my Cushioneer Sandals. I have 2 pairs of these that I've pretty much been using all summer long. I love that they're sort of trendy right now. A lot of people are wearing them. I feel like they match with most stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, my 34-week pregnant feet really also appreciate them. They're super comfortable. I bought this throw blanket from the company Bedshore. I actually shared Bedshore in my last monthly favorites because we bought a comforter from them and loved it, and then bought another comforter from them because we really loved that. So I ended up buying this like sort of checkered style big cozy throw to keep in our living room because everybody always is wanting like a cozy throw. Now this does come in a throw size, a twin size, and then I think a queen size. Super soft. I've washed it a few times. Holds up really, really nice. I haven't found that it sheds. It's really cozy. My trick is I like buying the twin size for my living rooms instead of the throw size, just because you get a little bit extra length so you can really cozy up when you're gonna like watch a movie. CeraVe night cream. I'm actually completely switched my entire skincare routine like a month or 2 ago. I was just looking for slightly more affordable options. It's essentially 4 products. It's one thing with hyaluronic acid for moisturizing, there's one thing for pore minimizing, one thing for fine lines and wrinkles, and then a nighttime cream. And the one thing that I can definitely say I love the most right off the bat has been this night cream. The other skincare products I do think I like a lot, but I feel like with skincare it's like you kind of have to use things for a few months to really know. I've been loving this. It just feels really rich and really hydrating without feeling too greasy or heavy on my skin. My skin still feels hydrated in the morning when I wake up. I think it's probably one of my favorite night creams that I have ever used, and I love that the price point is not outrageous. I had broken my oil mister. If you guys have seen any basically my kitchen videos, I always talk about my oil mister because I love it. And so I saw this alternative version and I decided to try it because it not only allows you to mist, but also has a pour option. And I was like, this is kind of nice because sometimes you want both. And I've been loving this. It has the misting qualities that my old one did, so if I just need to mist something before I bake or before I air fry, but I can also pop open the top and I can pour the olive oil as well. So I love that this has sort of become a 2-in-1, and I think this might be my new favorite oil mister. Next up is this really dainty daisy necklace that I got. I actually already have, there's like a colored version. I already have this in my cart to buy it because I love it so much. I just think this is so sweet. It looks good with so many different things. It's just a very simple, sweet little necklace. The price point was great, but I also find that the quality has been so good. It does not feel like flimsy or like it's gonna fall apart. Next up is the Uproot, which is essentially, it looks like this like weird comb, but it allows you to get up any hairs and fibers from like rugs and upholstery that your vacuum cannot get up. I feel like we all have some sort of surface somewhere in our home that's just sort of like collects these hairs, especially if you have a dog. Our dog has that like kind of short wiry hair that the vacuum just sometimes cannot get up. I use this about once a month on our throw rugs. I also will use it on upholstery just to get up like extra fibers. It's sort of gross and oddly satisfying how much you can get up with this thing. I think it is just a basic staple to have in your house. Okay, I have to share a few favorites from the mudroom makeover that I did. If you missed this, I shared it on Instagram, but our new house had this like random little empty nook, and I decided to make it into a mudroom for my kids. So I started with some paint and wallpaper, and I do love this wallpaper, but you're definitely going to curse a little trying to install it and line it up. The good thing is I found it was busy enough that even if I didn't perfectly align it, you can't even really tell. But one thing that I used for the first time ever when I installed this wallpaper was something called Easy Hang. I'd never used this before, but it's for peel and stick wallpaper. You spray it on the wall and it allows you to easily reposition your peel and stick a couple of times while you are installing, which definitely helped with this wallpaper installation, but I think I'll probably use it for any peel and stick wallpaper in the future. It just made it a lot easier. I also bought myself a nice set of X-Acto blades, which I hadn't owned before, and it definitely makes a difference to have like a quality set of X-Acto blades for any of these kinds of DIY projects around the house. I added in these Amazon lockers. I've shared these before on Instagram because I really love them. Honestly, lockers for kids in a house is maybe my new favorite thing. Like, why should they be only for schools? We've been loving having lockers for each of my kids. And I also really like these storage ottomans that I added. I added them just as a place for the kids to tie their shoes, but they actually have extra storage in them, and you can even flip the tops of them to make them into a little tabletop. And on this topic, I also actually want to share in our new house that I added this privacy film in our downstairs bathroom. Now, I've done privacy films in the past before. Like, these are basically stick-on cling films. They're really easy to install. They just stick right to the window with a little bit of water, and they stay put until you're ready for them to come off, and then they just peel off with no residue left behind. But I've always just done a basic frosted one, and so when I saw this one, I just think it is so beautiful. It looks like kind of like a LED window look. It adds privacy, and I think it adds a really beautiful detail to this window. And unlike the wallpaper, was very easy to install. Two other home finds that I've been loving since we moved into the new house. The first one is this bed that we got for our master bedroom. This has hidden storage underneath, and I have been absolutely loving it. And then the other product is the day bed that we got into our playroom. This is from IKEA, and it's essentially a twin to king day bed. So most of the time when it's a playroom, we can use it as sort of like a sofa. My kids hang out here, they watch TV, or they just like play and we color. But when we have guests, it easily opens up into a king bed. And even my mom, who's quite picky with beds, says it is very comfortable. And last but not least are my faux hanging plants. I shared these on Instagram. I had hanging plants hanging on our front porch, as one does, because it looks beautiful. But our house is in the backyard, okay? And I have like 3 small children, and I'm pregnant. Like, I'm not lugging the hose around every day. And I was doing the watering can religiously for like a month, and then I was like, I can't. And then my hanging plants died because they needed water every day, you know? And finally I was like, you know what? Maybe I just buy some fake ones. And my husband was very against this. He was like, it's gonna look awful. He's like, I will let you try and attempt to hang it up for an Instagram reel, but then we were taking them down because he was appalled. And let me tell you something, we haven't taken them down because they look great. They look like real flowers. Nobody would know, and nobody has to water them. Look who's laughing now. Nobody was laughing, but all right, my friends, that does it. Some of my favorite things that I loved from July. I'll link all of my monthly favorites down below if you want to see past favorites as well. But as always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.